Hello everybody and welcome. This is a Legacy School grammar lesson for Year 6, Week 11. For this lesson, you'll need your grammar book from pages 41 to 43. So let's dive right in. Who remembers what modal verbs are? You might have taken them last year, but just in case you don't remember, modal verbs are helping words that do not have meaning by themselves. However, they modify the meaning of the verb that follows. Some examples of modal verbs are can and can't, must and mustn't, should and shouldn't, may, might, or could. So we have a couple of handouts, a few worksheets first, and then a couple of handouts. So first of all, we have this poem, If Only, and we have a modal verb in each line of this poem. I'll just read it together. I should have tied my laces. I would have kept my boots on. I could have scored that goal. I might try harder next time. I can take the penalty shots. I will help my team win. So I want you to think about it and see how many modal verbs you can find. You should circle them, but in case you can't on your screen, go ahead and just write them on a piece of paper or in your copybooks. Now we have the next modal verbs worksheet. We have traffic signs. We're going to complete them. We're going to complete the sentences with must, mustn't, or can. I'll do the first two with you so you get the idea. So number 1, we have a turn left sign and then a cross between it. I don't know if you're familiar or not with traffic signs, but this one tells you that you cannot turn left. So the most suitable modal verb for us to use here is mustn't. All right. Let's move on to the second one. We have a stop sign. You blank stop. We're going to say you must stop. All right, we use must because it's an obligation. It's a command. You have to stop. If I say you can stop, it's more of an option. They're giving you an option. They're giving you an opportunity to decide whether you want to stop or not. But when you see a stop sign, you don't have that option. You must follow the rules. You must stop. Go ahead and fill in the rest of the blanks on your own and write them down on a piece of paper. All right, let's talk about what modal verbs express. They can express obligation, possibility, ability, permission, advice or suggestions, or they can express a request. So which one of these were expressed with must, mustn't, and can? Can you think of anything? So must, mustn't, and can express obligation or permission. Let's go ahead and look at handout number 3, where we explain what may and might express. So first of all, they could express a possibility. For example, it might rain later, so take an umbrella. Here, they're talking about the possibility of it raining. May and might could also be used to express permission, like you may have another cookie if you like, or you may go to the bathroom. All right? You can also ask for permission. You can give permission, you can ask for it as well. Like, may I borrow your pen, please? May I go to the restroom? You can also use may or might to express wishes. May the new year bring you happiness. And you can use may or might to also speculate or guess about actions in the past, like she is late, she may have missed her plane. All right, so you're probably wondering, when can I use may and when can I use might? We can use them interchangeably, which means they can both go in the same sentence most of the time, all right, without any significant difference. However, might often implies a smaller chance of something happening when we're using it to express possibility. For example, we have these two sentences. It may rain. That could mean there's a 70% chance that it'll rain. But if I say it might rain, that means there's a lower chance, about a 40% chance. So when we're expressing wishes or giving permission, only may is used, and that's a very important point to remember as well. Now we're going to move on to handout number 4, where we can see which modal verbs express ability, permission, advice, obligation, and possibility. Let's first have a look at ability. We use the modal verbs can or could to express ability. Like, David can speak 3 languages. He could speak French when he was 5. So this tells us that he had the ability to speak French and other languages. Okay? Now let's move on to permission. To express permission, we can use can or could again, along with may. Let's have a look at the examples. Can I sit in the chair, please? I'm asking for permission. Could I open the window? Again, asking for permission. May I borrow your dictionary? Let's move on to advice. All right, advice isn't like giving an order. Advice is giving a suggestion. Like, for example, you should tie your shoes. I can't force you to tie your shoes, but I'm telling you that you should for your own good so that you don't fall. Let's look at the examples given in the handout. You should visit the dentist at least twice a year. That's a very good suggestion or good advice as well. You should try to lose weight. All right, let's move on to obligation now. We can use the modal verbs must and have to express obligation or something that you should do or something that you must do. I must memorize all the rules about the tenses. And you have to take your shoes off before you go into the mosque. It's the rules and it's an obligation. Last but not least, possibility. And the modal verbs we can use to express possibility are might, may, can, or could. It looks nice, but it might be expensive. So there's a possibility that this object will be expensive. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. Again, it's a possibility. He's not for sure coming to visit, but there is a possibility. All right. So I want you to jot down the answers to these really easy questions. What are modals? What do they add to the sentence? Which modals mean possibility? Which modals mean permission or suggestion or an obligation? You can always go back in the video to find the answers to these. Now we're going to move on to our homework. For exercise 65 on page 41, you're going to choose the correct alternative. For exercise 66, you're going to tick the best sentence in each pair or tick both if they're both possible. For exercise 67, you're going to answer the questions with might or might have. For this set of questions, it's important to remember that we use might for the present tense and for the future tense. And we use might have for a sentence where the verb is in the past tense. Okay? And we have an example of the present tense and an example in the past tense for number 1 and number 2. For exercise 68, we're going to use might to complete the sentence, which explain why you should follow the advice. And last but not least, page 43, exercise 71. You're going to choose the correct alternative. And then for the next exercise, you're going to complete the answers with must, can't, or might, or any other words that you might need to use. All right? I can't wait to see your work, and good luck.